Saturday, and we're going to get this thing running before the end of the weekend here. I'm hoping to turn the key on it for the end of today. It's about noon on Saturday. My watch is not on, so it's roughly noon about on Saturday, and so far off camera, I went to the store, I picked up some oil, I put a filter on, I put gaskets on the valve covers and installed the valve covers. I tightened the drain plug, and now I'm going to pour some oil in here. And I know a bunch of you maybe won't agree with this, but this is the oil I'm putting in here. It was cheap, it's synthetic, and this is going to be our startup oil. It's going to get changed very soon after. Are we dripping? We're dripping. So, trying to think what I need to do. I put spark plugs in it already. I have to take the intake manifold off because I have tape under there on the runners. So I'll take that off. I'm not going to worry about the steam port kit right now because I just want to get it to start. I don't know where I'm dripping oil from. Oh, it's coming out of the cap. Not that it matters because a lot of this stuff needs to be cleaned anyway. How much oil did we put in? 2 quarts. Yeah, so the coil packs need to go on. Plug wires. I did get some new nuts for the power and signal wire on the starter, so I need to go under and put those on. Then it's really plugging stuff into the intake manifold, and yeah, that should be it. The battery's been on the charger overnight, and we're going to crank it over a bunch of times just to get some lube going throughout the engine because it has been sitting for a while. I did, when I assembled it, I used assembly lube, but it's been sitting for a while. Yeah, so I'm excited to get this thing fired up today. Let's do it. Okay, I'm under the car putting the O2 sensors in. Not that they're really going to do much for a startup, but they need to go in, and I'm putting them in now. So still got that side to do, and I am making an exhaust for this that's going to go out the back there. You can see where I cut the trunk out right there so I can fit a dual, like a true dual exhaust. So just putting these O2 sensors in so that they're plugged in, and then we'll get back to work on the top side there. Do the other one and then we put. I think I have everything hooked up on the engine now. I did have to pull the intake manifold back off and pull it forward because I forgot to hook the brake booster line up. This guy I have to attach to the back of the manifold before I put the manifold on, and I knew that's the way I had to do it before. I just totally forgot about it, and then I realized I would have a huge vacuum leak back there if I didn't hook that up. I'm still waiting for Amazon to drop off my MAF sensor. The wire is here. Obviously this is way long now because I had my MAF was down in this area on the last rendition of this car. All my plugs are in, wires are hooked up, coils are installed. This one I've always kind of had just sitting here because of this is like right in the way, so that's good. I have to hook up the fuel line, which I'm going to do now. This guy's going to go there. Coolant temp, alternator are hooked up. Wires run through here. TPS and IAC are hooked up. On this side, crank sensor is installed and hooked up. The starter is hooked up, wires on there. All the fuel injectors, map sensor. Yeah, I think we're good. This is the nitrous and the fans, which we don't have yet. We have fans, but they're not installed. So I think now I'm gonna work on how I'm gonna hook the battery up to the back of this, because my battery box is not done. Yeah. So you can see I welded that piece in, but this is just cardboard right now. So I'm gonna see if I can get my power wire to reach with a battery sitting here or here, something like that. So that's what I'm trying to do now. Yeah, while I wait for Amazon to bring the MAF sensor. I could probably start it without the MAF, but we'll see. We'll see if I get the battery hooked up. Maybe we'll try and crank it. We'll see. But yeah, I'll check back in with you in a little bit. Okay, I got the battery hooked up. I have the battery charger still on the battery. I assume we're going to do a lot of cranking. I do have the fuse pulled from the fuel pump, so there should be no fuel coming to this. I don't have the MAF sensor yet. We're just going to crank it over for a little bit, see if we can get some oil up into the top of the motor, and yeah, hopefully the MAF sensor gets here soon and we can try and fire it up. So it's been a while. I haven't turned the key on this car in 6 months or so. So I hope it cranks. I'll put this window down. The dashboard works. Windows work. Alright, let's crank it over. Let's check neutral. We're in neutral. Okay, it cranks over, so that's good. Obviously, I don't have the fuel pump hooked up. I wonder if it will fire without the MAF. It might fire without the MAF sensor. Let's try it. I'll put the fuse back in. I'm gonna turn the key and we're gonna check the leaks. Alright, here we go. First turn. Oh, she burbled a little bit. Okay, I'd open the door. I don't want to gas myself out. She runs. She runs. Yeah, I didn't want to let it run too long because I have no data on it. I don't know if it has oil pressure. The oil pressure light did go off, so at least it has some oil pressure. But obviously it's got no coolant in it, anything like that. I'm so excited. I can't wait to be driving this car again. Fired up one more time. Okay, let's let it sit for a little bit. I don't want to run it too long without any coolant in it. All right, guys. Yeah. You saw it. She started. She runs. It is like 2:30, so 2.5 hours, 3 hours, something like that. Really wasn't much. It was mostly just plugging stuff in and putting oil in it. Now the work goes to getting the coolant system done, and then I'll be able to drive it. Oh yeah, the exhaust. I forgot about the exhaust. The whole exhaust. That was open header. So I need to start on the exhaust. But I have everything I need. I'm ditching the CX Racing Y pipe. We're going to an X pipe setup. And I have the whole tubing kit up there. And I got these tips here that I'm going to be using. So that will be good. This is the battery setup. Right now it's just kind of sitting here. This is the fuse for the fuel pump. Yeah, so there's still a lot to do, but it runs. I gotta make this, replace that Chewy box with sheet metal, get that welded, get the exhaust run to the back, and the tips coming out the back here. I need to cut the bumper, need to cut a matching opening from here over to that side. This thing's gonna be under the knife soon. Drop me a comment, let me know if you want me to give you a current state of the SS, because that thing is in a pretty poor state. It looks good from a couple feet away, but it's literally been sitting here for like a year. Look at those headlights were brand new. So hopefully they polish up. There's actually a bug inside of that one. I don't know how it got in there. And that is like just been sitting there. So, and Betty White, the Cuddy, I got springs for that front and rear. So that needs to go under the knife. Eventually this is going to get, I think that's an iron 5.3. I forget. Yeah, it's a 5.3. So I have an iron 5.3 for that. To go in here with that 4L80 down there. This 4L80 is for the Trailblazer. And there's this piece of junk. Alright guys, that's going to be it for today. Thanks for watching. We got the LSE36 fired up. I got to work on the cooling system, and I did get the MAF sensor came in. But I thought that the plug would be the same. Because it's 5-pin and that's 5-pin, but not even close to the right size. So I'm gonna figure something out on that. I'm not sure. I think it's just a matter of getting the right connector and pinning it to that connector, but for now I'm just gonna leave it at that. To do still is the cooling system. The exhaust, which I just ordered 2 more V-bands because I want to break the exhaust up so that I could take, like if I have to change the diff or anything like that, I want to be able to take 2 V-bands off and take from like the, in front of the diff back, and then have a section from the header to the front of the diff and have that as a section. So a couple parts coming for that, and yeah, I'm just gonna spend the rest of the night cleaning up out here and kind of organizing because it's a mess. This is my lovely vintage heater that I got. I love it. But yeah, I got like stuff all over the place. A lot of this stuff can get boxed away. Like this can go, these parts can go in the Trailblazer because this is going to end up being turned into an intake for the Trailblazer. These are all Trailblazer parts. So basically, I'm just going to clean up a little bit and call it a night. So thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Head on down to the link in the description to help me out and buy me a coffee. And I'll see you next time. We'll probably be making the exhaust next time, so stay tuned and make sure you subscribe so that you can get the notification for that video. See you later.